my guy.
Been a long time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well,
I mean, been out here delivering this mail, boy.
Can't tell, folks. I'm fed now, man.
Oh, nigga, shut up.
Work for the ops now.
Hey,
no, but
man,
I mean, honestly, though, it's cool. Definitely, it's a learning curve, and
working out here in this damn sun.
Look. Let me just say this. For one, I had been fighting off, I like to call it the family legacy, for so long. Because my dad actually retired from the post office. And I think a couple other family members on the Mac side did.
Mm.
But that job is not for the weak, bruh. Like, that job is strictly mental. And I understand why people don't make it. It's tough. So, kudos to anybody that has ever tried. I will never knock anybody for quitting.
Shit, everybody I know that tried the post office gig, they actually enjoyed it. I mean, they said it was, I mean, I guess they were, obviously this was back east. You didn't have to worry about delivering mail when it's 1:15 outside. But I mean, they said they'd be like walking around delivering mail, and they'd be on the phone talking to their peoples and doing whatever else they do.
Mm-hmm.
They just drop the mail off and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm. But,
the hours were a bitch, though. Especially during the holiday season, because they be having your ass delivering mail all day.
Yep.
And you get off late. I know my boy was saying that his last route, he didn't finish until damn near 8 o'clock one night. Like during the Christmas season.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Fuck.
Sounds about right. But other than that, though, you been good?
Yeah, man. It's keeping busy, training, fucking.
Oh, you finally get a fight, or what's up?
Still working on it, bro. No, ain't nobody doing shit right now.
Oh, it's too hot for one.
Yeah, ain't nobody trying to train outside right now. So, I mean, not even me, but I still do it.
Oh yeah, man, I'm doing it too.
This would be the perfect season though, because cutting weight would be so easy right now. So easy right now.
Oh, bro, you know how many times I had to tell people at the gym, if y'all see me come in here and I'm looking slimmer pretty fast, it's not cocaine. I'm just a mail carrier. I just had to let them know.
Gotta do it.
I just had to let them know. It is not cocaine. But, no, man, I feel it, though. I feel it. Speaking of, fighting. So, you were saying, what's next for Yuri?
I don't know, bro. I feel kind of bad for homie. I mean, he came into this joint confident that he was gonna be able to do something, and I'm just kind of like,
man, he couldn't fight off them evil spirits, man.
Bro, I don't even think it's the evil spirits he talking about. Like he just ain't on that level, man. Like, Pajeda is on a way different stratosphere when it comes to striking than Yuri Prochazka. It's not even close.
Nah, 100%.
So I'm just like, come on, dog. Like, the only way you gonna beat Pajeda is to get him on the ground or to like use something else other than striking, because you ain't gonna stand and bang with him. Like, I don't give a shit who you are. You're not gonna stand and bang with Pajeda. That ain't gonna work.
There's only a few dudes that have done it.
I mean, Adesanya was able to do it barely.
But I mean, at the same time, though, I still blame Faye's fight IQ, because how does Izzy catch you with the same punch in every fight y'all have ever fought?
Well, you gotta think Izzy is slick.
That too.
And it's just like,
also Faye doesn't like to move his head.
No. And Izzy knows that. So
exactly.
He's probably like the only guy
that really could
stand on the feet and win.
Speaking of Izzy, so him versus DDP is finally going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my thing. I definitely don't feel like DDP beat Strickland. The Robert Whittaker fight, I'm sorry, that was a fluke in my eyes.
I mean, I think DDP is
he's a good fighter. I'm not saying
he's a pretty well-rounded guy, but his power is his biggest weapon.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you're able to kind of fight the way Izzy fights, where you roll and move and no one's able to like really hit you clean, he's gonna be useless
Exactly
against that.
Because like he doesn't really have much that separates him from anybody else.
I mean, he's a
brawler.
Yeah, he's a brawler. He's a tough dude that can take a shot to give one, and he'll stand in the pocket.
But I mean, you can't do that with Izzy.
Nah,
Izzy will catch you somehow. Well, let me rephrase. The real Izzy will do that.
Yeah.
That last Izzy that we saw fight, that man better not show up ever again.
If he goes into the DDP fight the way he was against Strickland, he'll lose.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
If he comes in there with his head right, then he's ready. Yeah, I mean, a DDP ain't got a shot.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly though. Oh, I meant to ask you too. Have you heard all the BS Ilya Taporia has been saying, talking about, oh, Max don't want to fight me? I'm like, bro, first off, when has Max ever turned down a fight?
Ilya Taporia basically was just like, I won't fight him unless he puts the BMF title on the line. So Max was willing to fight him, but he wants the BMF title to be on the line too.
Man, look, Ilya's scared, bro.
Yeah.
Especially after that knockout.
After he saw him face plant Beachy, he's just like,
ooh.
Yeah.
Like,
he don't want no problems.
Hey, look, about to be run. As soon as they get in that ring, you're about to run out of it. I don't want no problems.
Ilya Taporia. I mean, Ilya Taporia, I give him that. He's good.
Oh yeah,
he is really good. But I mean,
Max is just a whole different beast,
I don't think
bro.
He's beating Max Holloway.
Oh yeah, especially like for one, I think Max should go up to 155. He looked great.
I think in time he will.
Yeah.
I think in time.
I will say this. If he doesn't get the belt, I think that's when he needs to do it.
I think he'll do it even if he wins.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too. But if he doesn't get the belt, he should definitely jump up.
Oh, for sure. I think he should.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else going on MMA-wise?
No, I mean that Prohaska fight with Pajeda, that was just last week.
Yeah. Well, for one, you and Blanc's conversation, that was hilarious. Let me just say that right now. Hey, shout out to the homie Blanc. My boy, like, we got to take a step back for a second, realize there's just levels to everything.
I'm still laughing that he's all like, you put me in the ring with Raquel Pennington, I'm walking out the bantamweight champ. I'm like, bruh. I'm like, how you gonna come out the bantamweight champ at 195 pounds? Like, you gonna have to cut that weight, boy. And Blanc, your ass is not getting down to 135. I don't care what you say, you ain't doing it.
Hey, look, all I gotta say is this. That one halfway leg kick I took from Leslie showed me everything. There is level.
Did you saw that shit in the conversation?
Oh yeah,
when I saw. That? I was just like, dog. I was like, I bet money that Leslie could beat your ass.
Oh yeah, I told everybody, bro. Like, she literally kicked me like half power with the pad on, and like literally, like, bruh, I was not able to walk comfortably for like a couple minutes because. But it's like, of course, though, first thing people don't realize about MMA, you can't really condition for leg kicks like you would think. Like,
I mean, you can.
Yeah, but it's like, you know how much it takes, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like, any regular person just taking a leg kick, oh, yeah, you're not going to walk for me.
Oh, yeah, you gotta, it's conditioning your legs for leg kicks is some wicked shit.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, it depends on how they start you, because it's like for us, it was more so just getting used to taking the kicks. So it was just like you have to basically let them, someone kick you, and that's like your conditioning is you just being kicked in the leg however many times, and after a while, you kind of build up, you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have you kick, like we had like a pole that we used to kick. I mean, it had a pad on it, but the pad wasn't really that thick.
Yeah.
So it was like when you kicked it, that shit hurt. And it's like basically just conditioning the shin.
Yeah.
To be able, because a lot of time if you're like a new person to the game and you throw a leg kick and you may catch the knee or catch their shin.
Oh, it might break.
It fucking hurts.
And it might break.
It could do that as well. But I mean, if you're a newbie, usually you don't have that kind of power yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the just the contact, like shin on shin contact does not feel good, like at all. So I mean, it's you.
Oh, trust me, I've had my fair shares, just goofing off with always. We both threw one time. Like, look, I'm gonna need a timeout, dog.
Right.
Like,
that shit does not feel good.
Nah, but I feel it though. But nah, it was just a funny combo because I'm like, what is this dude talking about?
Yeah, it was fun. It was funny. I ain't gonna lie. It was a good conversation.
I'm like, that's like me talking about. I'm like, man, I could beat Amanda Nunez. Like, nah, fam. She would dog walk me.
I'm like, it ain't. It's like it's not about that. About being the size and strength, man. When it comes to a fight like that, technique. It's all about the technique and the skill. I'm like, you might be able to knock a woman out if you hit her, but you got to be able to hit her first.
Exactly.
But I mean, you fighting somebody like Amanda Nunez, like if she pop your ass with something, you
done.
That ain't gonna feel.
Oh, we saw what she did to Ronda.
Right.
That Ronda looking like a newborn deer.
Ronda, fucking Holly.
Yeah.
I mean, she
Tate.
I mean, she hit.
Surprisingly, the only one that got her was Kaz Zingano.
Kaz Zingano in her prime, though. She wasn't a joke either. He talking about weight.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, look at a chick like Kayla Harrison.
Oh, bro.
Kayla Harrison is fucking yoked.
Yeah.
Now, she only walks around at like 160 pounds, like which isn't big by most standards. But she will probably be able to ragdoll me at 195. Like she could probably throw me around with no problem. I'm just like women. I'm like women are stronger than you think, man. It's just like because they don't weigh as much as us don't mean that they ain't strong in their own right.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So
we let him be delusional though.
We'll let it. Yeah. So free agency. For starters, my condolences.
Well,
your Bulls just
bro, don't even get me started on them. Man.
Oh my god, bro!
Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso? Really, nigga?
I was very amazed, but
I was like, whoa!
That trade showed me two things. One, y'all are officially done with Lonzo.
Nah, he coming back this year.
To the Bulls?
Yeah. He opted into his deal, so he's playing for the Bulls this year.
No.
I mean, Josh Giddey not a point, though.
That is fair.
So, I mean,
he's a combo.
Yeah, they probably put him at the 2.
Problem is, though, he's not that much of a scorer, though.
No.
So that's why I'm like, it doesn't really make sense.
You better figure it the fuck out.
But on top of that, y'all just did the signing trade with DeMar.
Well, I mean, DeMar was gonna walk anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's better to trade him now.
I'll tell you what though, it's gonna be so weird seeing him in a Sacramento jersey.
I'm trying to figure out how the fuck that's gonna work.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting lineup.
Him, Sabonis, Fox, they all operate in the mid range. I mean, Fox can shoot threes now. Somewhat, but
yeah, him and Sabonis are gonna be
kind of him and Sabonis gonna be fucking jockeying for position over there.
So it's gonna be interesting. You know what? I'll wait to talk about that one
with the Clippers.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Nah, we can do it. Yeah, y'all niggas is fucking up too.
Well,
first off, how y'all let PG walk for nothing?
Well, here's the thing.
It's like nothing.
We were trying to get something done with Golden State, but problem is they didn't want to let Kuminga go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which to their point, I do understand.
I mean, I wouldn't have either.
Exactly. I
Like,
understand.
I wouldn't do that.
But it's like, I looked at that. I'm like, so you mean to tell me we couldn't get anything done with anybody?
Well, they had threw out some, was it what, Moses Moody, Clay, Wiggins.
Yeah.
There was like a few.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have taken Wiggins. But honestly though, let me just say this. For one, Paul George wise, I'm not upset. He did what he could for the Clippers. Wasn't enough, sadly.
I mean, I think y'all niggas did him dirty though.
In terms of,
I was like, how the hell y'all gonna get Kawhi a max extension, but not him?
well, problem is,
Nah.
no. It's money related.
Oh, but
Now, hang on. Let me explain.
Y'all giving James Harden $35 million a year, but you couldn't give PG no bread.
So problem is, it was the number of years. We couldn't do 4 years. We could only do 3.
Y'all better pay that damn lottery or that
We're already too high in it.
I'm like, because I don't.
That's why we couldn't do 4 years like you wanted.
I mean, I'm just like, y'all gave Kawhi all that bread.
Yeah.
And PG been there more than him.
And you know what's funny,
he played
too?
More playoff games than him.
I know.
More season
I know.
games.
It's very messed up.
So I'm just like, how did y'all?
But here's what's funny, though. It just goes to show, just having that ring changes everything, I see. The fact that Kawhi has a ring versus Paul George, like, it's crazy to me that that's what gets him the deal that he got.
2 Finals MVP.
Oh yeah, or my bad, 2 rings. My bad.
He got two rings, 2 Finals MVPs.
Crazy, but honestly though,
Defensive Player of the Year twice.
Yeah. But the only thing that bugged me a little bit with Paul George is going to Philly.
They the only ones that offered him the bag.
But here's what's funny to me though, because he literally said out of his own mouth on Podcast P, it's not about money. I want to play a style of basketball that I want to play.
Well, you got to
now. Hang on,
that is the style.
Hang on. I understand, because for one, let's be real. He's a 3. He's been playing the 2 with us his entire time.
No.
So I can understand wanting to slide back to the 3. But going to Philly, he basically put himself in the same situation in terms of you can't depend on Joel Embiid either.
I don't think it's about Joel Embiid. I mean, granted, that's part of it. But I mean, Tyrese Maxey was healthy all year.
Oh yeah,
I mean he's.
Oh yeah, Maxey a dog.
So I mean, he got that. I mean that, and they have the supporting pieces.
That's fair.
Lowry came back. They kept. Was it homeboy with the fro? Oubre. He's still there.
That's gonna be interesting because them two had beef for a while.
I mean, they have like a solid team. So, I mean, he's not going to a situation where he's going to be like
dependent on much.
Dependent just on one guy.
Well, hopefully not, because it's like I said.
And it's in the East.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's like the Sixers ain't really got nothing to worry about except Boston.
Boston, maybe New York.
New York, yeah, and that's really about it.
I mean, realistically, well, in a sense, Milwaukee, but I don't believe in Doc Rivers. So, if anything, I'm putting Philly over Milwaukee now.
I think Milwaukee could have made more noise, but those injuries really fucked them up.
But real quick to wrap up on the Clippers, yes, we botched that completely with him. In hindsight, though, I ain't too mad about our pickups because we've at least gotten a lot of younger guys.
We all got Derek Jones Jr.
and Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter, yeah. And,
we got
who else?
Mo Bamba.
Oh, did y'all get him?
Well, we needed another center to back up Zubats because we lost Plumlee.
Yeah, he came here.
Yeah. Who else? Actually, let me pull up.
I say Phoenix did a decent job.
Yeah.
They got Monte Morris. They got Plumlee. Yeah, they picked up a couple good pieces so far. I'm curious to see what they do because everybody is talking all that bullshit about Kevin Durant wanting out, but I don't know about that. I don't think he really wants to leave. I think they just saying that shit.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if we play what's his name? Kai Jones. I'm curious. Oh, we got Batum back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And apparently we're supposed to be getting Chris Dunn, which I don't really understand that one.
Oh. Yeah. He's supposed to be in if they do the Westbrook deal. He was supposed to come over in that deal. But I don't know if they really gonna trade Westbrook or not.
I think it's just more so either the team he wants to go to isn't going for it.
Where was he trying to go?
Denver, last I heard, but now Phoenix is showing interest.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be hella interesting for him to come to him and KD back together again.
Yeah,
that
problem is that's going to be a little tough.
Wild. What do you mean?
He can't play off ball.
Yeah, he can. He played with KD all those years in OKC, and he played. He was doing his thing as the point guard.
Well, more so, it's like
he's gonna be. No. That's the thing. If Russ goes here, he's gonna be the point.
Okay, so what's gonna happen with Beal?
Bench.
I think he should have been on the bench the whole time.
I mean, the only other thing that I could see him being in the starting lineup with Russ is if they play him at the 2 and Book at the 3, and play KD at the 4. Small ball lineup. But if they don't and they do it the right way, it'll be KD at the 3, Book at the 2, Russ at the 1, and then they'll have Beal coming off the bench.
Oh yeah, I think that is the best scenario.
That would make the most sense.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying, fucking that's.
Nah, I definitely agree with that. Let's see what else happened because crazy enough, so them Woj bombs just kept going off. Dario Saric to Denver. I didn't see that one. You see Tobias Harris finessed again.
Oh yeah,
he going back to Detroit.
Yeah, he got what like 2 years for 50.
Yeah,
I'm just like, bruh.
That dude is the greatest finesser of all time.
I mean, they might as well give him 2 for 50. I mean,
well, actually, let me say that dude's agent is the greatest finesser of all time.
I think James Harden might get him beat, bro.
Actually, no.
2 years for 75. I'm like, that's crazy.
Actually, you know what? No. You know who got him beat?
70, 75. He got 35 million.
You know who got him beat? You know who got them both beat?
Who was that?
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, you're right.
That man literally pulled a... I just had to show y'all I still had it. I'm going to go sit back down.
His career is done, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Miles Bridges, we were trying to get him too, but we couldn't give him the deal that he got.
Where did he get?
He went back to Charlotte. Because we were going for a DeMar too, but we couldn't give him the deal either. And they virtually got the same deal.
Yeah, I knew DeMar was in talks to go to the Clippers.
Yeah. Franz Wagner. I got that rookie max. Definitely hats off to both them boys. Actually, they ball.
Say them Wagner boys is nice.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They gonna fucking give Banchero that bread too.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about Buddy Hield to Golden State?
Good move.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, definitely think
he's
so.
Basically a replacement for Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
He can shoot at a clip similar to Klay. So, I mean, it's basically the same thing. I mean, he's like a fucking, 40% from 3 average for his career. So,
yeah.
I mean, he can he got a ratchet on him just like Clay did. So I mean, I think it'll be a good move for them. I mean, they'll be able to implement him into their system just as easy as as Clay was.
Yeah.
And speaking of Clay, I think him going to Dallas was.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Because we were talking about it's crazy. I'm like, no. First off,
that's a fantastic move.
Yes. Do you realize how much more dangerous that offense just got?
Because it's just like they gonna send doubles at Kyrie, doubles at Luka, and then you got
Clay in the corner
over here. Like, what the fuck is this?
I'll tell you. Just imagine, like, dang, I'm getting double. Wait a second. Like Clay right there. Hang on.
All he got to do is just fucking hit spot up shots.
Exactly.
Catching.
And we definitely know he can do that.
So I mean, that was a great move for him to go there.
Kyle Anderson to Golden State. I'm not feeling it. I'm not. It does help with their size problem a little bit, but I'm like,
but what does he do?
Exactly.
Because he was on Minnesota.
Yeah, and I'm like, he didn't really do much there. He's just a body.
Yeah, he was just out there. I mean, he would get a little bucket here.
Yeah,
and there,
but it's like, bro, like for one, like, because one of my good homies is a Golden State fan, and we were talking about the whole potential Paul George deal with the Warriors. And he's like, man, y'all asked way too much as soon as Kuminga's name got put in there, and I'm like, what if we would have offered Zubats too? He's like, we probably would have been doing business because we needed a center so bad. He was telling me.
If they would have did a deal where they gave up like Clay, if they gave up like Clay, Wiggins, maybe a pick or two, and maybe Kuminga for like Paul George
and Zubats.
And maybe a pick.
Yeah. Hey, we probably would have sent them Bones Highland too, just for good measure.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like it probably would have got done. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah.
No, I think that they would have done a deal with that one.
Yeah. Sure. Trying to think, who else?
I mean, that New York move, man, getting Mikal Bridges, like that.
Because it's funny, we were talking about that, and both you and Blog were like, "No way!"
I said that shit better be fake. When I saw what they gave up for him, I was like, "Holy shit!" That New York gave up a lot of assets to get Mikal. Like it wasn't no simple. We just gonna throw you like 2 first-round picks and like a player. They gave up like 4 or 5 draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more than that because I don't think they gave up no players. It was just all draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give up no players for that. But they gave up a lot of draft picks.
So I actually want to ask you about that. So do you think it's better to give up players or give up draft picks? And I only ask that because look at teams like OKC, Denver, Minnesota, Celtics. They've been using their draft picks.
Sure.
And look where it's got them.
I mean, they've used their draft picks and they've used their draft picks in trades as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been able to draft like some generational players.
Exactly.
So I mean, I think that if you're gonna trade and wheel and deal, I think it's a good idea to use like a mix of both.
Yeah.
So you don't give up too much of one or the other.
Because truth be told, I'm like, I was talking with my boys in Denver, and I'm like, look, man, we'll send y'all Russ. I want Christian Brown, though. They're like, absolutely not. I'm like, I know. But, hey, look.
Nah, we'll send Russ, but we need MPJ, bro. We need MPJ.
Oh, we were actually trying to do some because they showed interest in Paul George. We tried to get MPJ. They said no instantly. From what I was hearing,
I would have traded MPJ.
Oh yeah,
for Paul George.
Crazy enough, we almost drafted MPJ, but Doc Rivers messed that up. It was for the best. Because Doc wouldn't have played him.
Nah, probably not.
There is no problem. He wouldn't have. Like, you do realize SGA is the only rookie Doc actually gave legit minutes to in his entire tenure with the Clippers.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy about it.
Because I know he was against that trade to get Paul George. He didn't want to give up Shea.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, and you know, that's another thing too. Like, people always want to go back now and look at that trade. And it's like, but bro, let's be real here though. You don't know what would have happened.
They say it's the worst trade in NBA history now.
Oh yeah.
Now.
But problem is though, it's like you weren't saying that when it first happened.
I was. And here's why.
Okay.
They gave up way too much.
I do agree with that part.
Way too much draft cap.
Definitely agree with that.
I was like, bro, you literally gave up your entire future.
Exactly.
Like that's terrible.
Like, looking back at it, you could have at least given up like Shea and maybe your next 2 first rounds, and that should have been enough.
Facts. They gave up like fucking first round draft picks for what, like the next 5 to 7 years.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's terrible.
But I'm not gonna lie though. Paul George ain't worth a max contract.
Not anymore.
Yeah, so you know, kudos to him for getting it. I'm never gonna knock him, but he's not worth it. In my opinion.
He's still good though.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's still elite.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When the Clippers got him, I mean, you gotta think he was coming off a season where he was like top 3 in the MVP booth.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, he was like one of the best players in the league at that time. But I still thought it was a terrible trade.
I agree.
Like, they gave up way too much draft cap.
I agree. But in Shea's case, like,
as far as giving up Shea, it's like you said, you never know.
Exactly.
Now, we saw him play that year, and it was like, okay,
he showed a lot of promise.
He's good, but
I think Chris Paul going to OKC really helped him.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where it kind of starts. Like, yeah, Clips messed up.
I mean, I think it's not so much as the giving up Shea that they messed up on. It was just
them draft picks,
bro. Because I'm looking at it from a realistic standpoint. Like, you trade for Paul George, right? Okay, great. He's one of the top players in the league right now. 2-way player, really good dude. Okay, great. But what's gonna happen? This motherfucker's already shown that he's injury prone. What's gonna happen if something happens to him and then he ends up falling off a cliff in the next 2 years?
Oh yeah.
You gave up your whole future for what? I was like, that was a terrible trade.
Oh, I agree.
Horrible trade. I was like, that way too much.
Draft picks wise, I totally agree.
They literally fucking rebuilt Oklahoma City with that.
Just off our draft picks.
Off that deal alone. They drafted J-Dub?
Yep.
And Chet and who else? There was another guy on the team that was one of y'all's picks. It was J-Dub and somebody else.
I forget.
I think it was was it Trey Mann? Maybe. I was somebody else.
Because it wasn't Dort. I don't think it was Dort.
But they got
but regardless though, the team they got now is because of those picks.
Of that deal. Yeah. They basically rebuilt the team on that deal alone.
I mean, it's kind of just like, I just look at it.
It's just like
it is what it is.
That trade back in the day when the Nets gave up all of that shit to get Garnett and Pierce and Jason Terry.
Ooh.
And then that ended up becoming Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and a whole bunch of other shit. It's like, what are you doing?
That was
horrible.
That was the worst. Like,
I thought that was the fucking terrible trade. Yeah. And I'm a KG fan.
But you just knew at that point, like, bro,
this dude's old and way past his prime, and you're giving up how many draft picks?
Crazy.
Like, come on, dog. Like that makes no sense.
Crazy.
At least y'all got PG when he was in his prime.
Yeah.
I'd give y'all that.
Realistically, bro, the one title we should have won was that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse title.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one title we should have won.
Easily.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Although I was telling somebody, I would crack up since we're getting this new stadium, and we win a title next year. I would crack up like, wait. It's not happening. I can say that. It's definitely not happening. I'm a realist. It's not happening.
Y'all ain't got
but how funny would it be if it happened? You just got Paul George like, I should have just stayed.
I don't think James Harden is going to be enough.
Hey, look.
Let's talk about that. $35 million a year, my guy. What? Come on, Ballmer. What you doing? What you doing?
I mean, to be fair, though.
I mean, granted, it's only a 2-year deal.
But here's the thing, though.
Still, though.
He did better this playoffs than he did with Philly. So you got to give that to him.
Yeah. I guess overall, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how you think he going to do next year? Man, he ain't got PG here to like supplement him. So it's just going to be him and Kawhi. And I don't know. I mean, we've seen him in a duo setting with fucking Embiid, and I mean, he's playing with the fucking MVP, and he still can't get it done. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an interesting season, to say the least.
100%
interesting because Summer League. I think Summer League is about to start soon. So
yeah,
we gonna.
Apparently, they said Bronny's gonna be held out.
He ain't gonna play?
Well, I think they just said for like one of the games because he had swelling in his knee.
Oh, damn, already.
I know. I'm like, dang.
That's not good. Because I heard they was gonna fucking throw him and Bron out there in the Summer League in the preseason too. They was gonna play them together to see how it would look, like what see what they could do.
Yeah,
I'm like, speaking of the Lakers and that Bronny shit, why is everybody so upset that they picked Bronny at number 55? Who cares?
See, we on the same wavelength, bro. Because I'm like, bro, he's not a number one pick.
They picked him at number 55.
He's not a lottery pick. He didn't do anything in college.
The Lakers did not hurt themselves or lose anything by picking Bronny at 55. So why is everybody freaking out about it?
Oh yeah, I'm saying,
I'm like, bro, let it.
Oh yeah, like let it lie. Let it lie.
You ain't lost shit.
But it's like at the same time though, I'm like, I was actually kind of shocked he even got drafted. To be honest,
no, I knew. Well, I knew
in the back of my head he would.
Well, I knew he would get drafted by. I watched the combine, and he did really well in the combine. Like, he literally went from like number 98 to like number 50 something.
Yeah.
So I mean, top 50 in the combine, he's gonna get picked.
That's fair.
Is he gonna get picked in the lottery?
No.
But he's gonna get picked somewhere.
But also too, though, it's like, because the big question, like, do you think it's doing him a disservice with him, playing with his dad or playing on? Well, hang on, or playing with the Lakers. Playing with the Lakers, I somewhat think it does. And the only reason why I say that is because teams like the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Knicks, what do those three teams have in common?
Huge markets.
And
lots of attention.
Expectations.
Right.
The problem is, with going to the Lake Show, you are expected to win every single year. And when it doesn't happen, they always find a scapegoat. So my question is, and even with JJ Redick, who's going to be the scapegoat if they don't win?
I'm curious to see JJ coach.
I am too.
Because
I think he can do it.
I think he's going to be a good coach.
I think he's going to be good, especially with those younger guys.
Because JJ, if you've seen, I don't know, you guys out there, if y'all seen the, was it the Mind the Game podcast with Bron and JJ?
Oh yeah, I love the podcast.
Like JJ knows
he's got
ball.
the mind.
Like he knows ball. So I'm like, okay, and he was a player, obviously. So it's like he can kind of draw from that experience as well. And with him knowing the schemes and being a great X and O's guy, along with being a player. I think he's going to be similar to like a Tyronn
Oh, yeah.
Lue. You know,
All I'm
think he's gonna
saying
be
is,
good.
though, going from a volunteer 4th grade basketball coach to an NBA coach is wild. But hats off to it.
I think that it's, you know,
I definitely think he deserves a chance. I will
that
say
Mind
that.
the Game podcast was a fucking audition, bro. Like, what do you think that was all about? It was just showing that he knows the game. So it's like, okay, well, if we're looking for a fresh new head coach or somebody to give a shot, why not this guy? He was a player in the league that had a long career, did really well. So he knows the locker room. You know, he knows, you know, how to lead. And, you know, because he was, as a veteran, he was the locker room guy. So it's like he knows how to do that. And he knows the X's and O's better than most people.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So why couldn't he be a coach?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So it's, I mean, because the players are going to respect him because of what he did.
Exactly. On top of that,
So,
too,
yeah.
he's in that age group to where he can kind of relate with guys his age and especially relate with these up-and-coming players. So I think it's good for that reason.
I mean, he's already got like bunches like plays, you know, drawn out.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing with Bron.
What's crazy?
Like,
oh, yeah.
This and this and this.
And like,
you know,
obviously it's tough sometimes for me to understand the X's and O's because I only played organized ball when I was younger.
Yeah.
So, but it's like just listening to him talk, it's like, it's so crazy just how his mind works. Well, I mean, then you're putting him and LeBron together on the same team? Like, dog.
That was just like Bron having Rondo on his team when they won that bubble chip. It was just like, you got two guys with minds like that. He's another guy that I expect to see in the coaching ranks in the NBA soon. Rondo. Like he's another guy that a lot of players are like, oh, that dude is, you know, he got it. Like he got the mind. So I think Rondo will probably end up making it onto a coaching staff
I mean,
somewhere.
plus, have you heard about the team that he coaches, that kids team?
Rondo?
Yeah. Oh, bro. He said they watch more film than actual NBA teams.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, yeah, he going to end up in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know, speaking of basketball, well, specifically WNBA. For one, I'm just going to say this. This might sound like a hot take to some people, but it's reality. Angel Reese should win Rookie of the Year.
I mean, she's definitely got a shot. Why not?
But here's my problem, though. People are talking about, oh, it has to be Caitlin. How?
How? I mean,
she hasn't done anything.
Angel got numbers, too.
Angel has been putting up some crazy
I'm like,
numbers.
She's averaging a double-double now. I mean, Angel Reese got numbers. She could easily win Rookie of the Year. I mean, Caitlin has her games where she'll go off, but it's like she's not
doing it at the level, like consistency level that Angel's doing it though.
Well, that's because Caitlin is in a different role.
Like, that too. Like she has to, in a sense, carry her team.
Right. And Caitlin is doing more of the like playmaking and the facilitating.
Exactly.
She's not scoring.
Versus Angel was just doing just wreaking havoc, honestly.
Rebounds and buckets. I mean, Chicago they got a squad though, bro. Like they ain't no punks. They got what's her name, Kennedy.
Oh yeah, Kennedy
something.
Let me just say,
she's an animal.
That girl got one of the nicest middies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Kennedy,
like I always feel like it's going in every single time.
Kennedy can hoop.
Oh yeah,
they got Kennedy, and then
I was surprised though they waived Godziak.
Oh yeah. Yeah, kind of. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
because they got Kennedy, and then they got the white girl. What's it? Mabry.
Oh yeah,
she's nice. And then they got Angel, and then they got Cardoso in the middle. Like they got a squad. They got a squad. Yeah, I'm just like, I think it's funny now how it's like all of these people are talking about, oh man, I've been watching the WNBA for so many years. I'm like, man, you probably couldn't name a WNBA player from like any time before last year.
Oh yeah. You know, somebody tried to check me too, and I was like, bro, for one, Sue Bird was actually one of my favorite basketball players, period.
Man, Sue Bird was a beast.
Oh yeah.
I used to like was it Elena Delle Donne? Like I used to like her
game.
too. I mean, I could go all the way back to the old days,
Oh
like
yeah.
Tina Thompson and Cheryl Swoops and all of them girls were playing
Oh
in
yeah.
Houston.
Yeah.
I think they're still like the only team in history that's won like 4 championships.
Mm.
Like they were a squad for real, and then they started falling apart. And you had like Lisa Leslie back in the day.
Yeah. Maya Moore, the GOAT.
Maya Moore. Then you had even before her, you had Rebecca Lobo.
Oh
was,
yeah.
was nice.
Yep.
Even the chick that played here in Phoenix, starting off, Michelle Timms, like she was good. Like it was like a lot of players. Like I watched women's basketball just because I like to watch basketball. So I mean, I would watch it. Like depending on who was playing, I would watch it. But I mean, I think now it's been like this generation of women players has brought more attention.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like they're
and it's like
more exposure.
You almost feel, in a sense, messed up saying this. Man, everybody want to text me all of a sudden. But sadly, it's only like that for dudes' case because they look how they look.
I mean, yeah.
And I don't mean it to sound like that, but it's just true. That's the reality.
I mean, if you think about it, you look at all of the women players of yesteryear. You know, the majority of them were, you know, they were gay.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like they were kind of, more masculine, and men won't really check in for that. But it's like if you look at the WNBA now, it's more feminine than it's ever been,
Yeah.
I mean, there was always like straight women in the league.
But at the same time, though,
not like now.
Bruh, I always hated it. Well, excuse me. I hate this year how like people are just now tuning into it and they like see these girls playing all rough and they're like, that's not ladylike. I'm like, bro, it's basketball. Sports.
It's basketball.
Like, bro, like I want to see them compete. Like,
yeah, I like that shit. Yeah, bring it on. Like they out there talking shit, getting rough. Like that's part of the game. That's like women can hoop too. So I'm like, let them hoop. I'm curious of what's gonna happen next year though.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Paige Becker's coming into the league.
Yeah.
She getting drafted number 1.
Juju's got one more year, right? She's probably going to go the year after.
Nah, Juju might come out next year.
I was about to say, both them two come out next year is 1 and 2.
1 and 2 for sure.
And let me tell you, I think them two are going to be the ones that, in a sense, have the season that Caitlyn should have had. Their rookie season.
Paige Becker's is nice, bro.
But Juju is a problem, bro.
Juju is serious.
Yeah,
Juju serious,
bro. Like it's just even this year's tournament is going to be insane. Honestly, yeah, especially with them two, because now it's like they're the main ones. So
well, those two. Then you got I think it was like that one chick that transferred to Iowa. I forget where she went from, but she's like the scorer. She basically plays like Caitlin Clark plays.
Yeah,
she's like buckets.
Oh yeah, and then who else?
The chickens, the chick in South Carolina, the white girl.
Yeah,
didn't she stay?
Yeah,
1 more year.
And then you got old girl at LSU.
Oh yeah,
Flo J.
Flo, yeah,
yeah. Got her, your girl
Haley. Yeah.
Which and. LSU coach did her so dirty. Left her on the dry, bro.
I mean, I think that her going to LSU was just
it just wasn't a good move, honestly.
I mean, because they made her play the point, and she's not a point. She's a 2 guard. So it's like she was trying to play point guard with. I mean, yeah, they were a good team, but I mean, she's just not a point guard. Like that's not her game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think going to TCU, I think she'll be able to go back to what she does.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
We'll see.
Let me just restart it since we'll probably move on to the sneaker stuff, and we'll just cap it there.
I do think Paige Becker's is nicer than Haley, though. So I guess we'll jump into this conversation that me and Farrakhan was having about the retro stuff coming back.
Which, hang on before you go. Farrakhan, stop running from this fit battle, dog. Stop running.
I mean, he asked me my take on it, and I'm just like, I honestly like don't really. I'm not a gatekeeper, bro.
And I wanted to ask you about that, but I'll let you finish your point.
I like it. I mean, because there's some shit that came out, like they're talking about the undefeated fours coming back. Everyone's like, oh well, Greg from Sneak Dish, shout out Greg, had a take on it as well, saying that that's all that you need to know is that it's first Jordan collab ever. It's a special shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's why not bring it back?
I agree.
You got all of these fucking like, old heads in my generation mad because it's like, oh, well, why some shit just needs to be left OG. Stop bringing everything. I'm like, bro, like, why are you being a hater, dog?
So I wanted to ask you about that. Like,
I'm getting another
why?
pair.
Like, why does your generation do that?
What, gatekeep?
Yes.
Because our generation comes from that.
That's fair.
It's just like we grew up with like our OGs gatekeeping shit. Talking about, oh, well, y'all don't know nothing about this and it needs to stay over here and y'all do y'all own. Like, nah, bro, this is not about that. I'm like, I mean, even it's like if other people can get it that weren't around when it came out, I give two fucks because I get to get it again for myself.
Exactly.
So I don't care.
Well,
bring it back.
Think about it like this. When did the Paris Dunk come out?
So I think like 2001.
Okay, bro.
Maybe 2002.
I was like 4 or 5 years old when that dunk came out.
Like,
I never had a chance to get it.
Shit, I was in high school. I didn't have a chance to get it either.
Exactly. So why
nobody did?
So it's like, bro, of course I would love for them to bring it back.
Hell yeah. Shit, if they bring that back, that's a must cop for me.
Oh yeah.
I'm buying
I mean, that's one of my favorite dunks all the time, despite all the hype around it. I've always loved that dunk.
You see, have you seen next year's lineup?
Oh yeah,
bro, they got so much shit coming back next year. I'm like, y'all,
it's just it's kind of tough for me.
I'm buying everything.
It's tough for me because like I'm slowly starting to feel myself kind of drifting out of all of this, and even me and homie Javon that I did the Drinks and Kicks interview with. We kind of talked about it, and I kind of talked about how I don't feel like I'm a traditional sneakerhead. I don't have like the typical story of like most people have how they got into sneakers. Mm-hmm. Like me, I grew up just liking skateboarding and cars, and that's kind of what got me into sneakers. And I know it sounds very weird for some people, but really, I just grew up just liking to look at shoes, and it's like it never really came from like watching Kobe, Iverson. Like I just always liked just looking at shoes because I thought they were cool.
See, I got into shoes even before like the AI and Kobe's. Like Mike was that nigga.
Yeah,
obviously. So everybody want to be like Mike. So as a young boy, when I started like really buying shoes or getting shoes, I got my first pair of J's in kindergarten. The Jordan 6s was my first shoe, my first Jordan. So, I mean, it was one of those things where I was like, I liked it, but my uncle, my dad's brother, he's only 8 years older than me. So he was in high school at the time. So, hanging around my uncle and, I used to go to he was in the marching band and shit. I used to go when I would go to visit my grandparents for the summer and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I would go with him to his marching band practices over the summer and shit. And, you would see it. You see like him and his boys and shit kicking it at the practice, and they got like the fire sneakers on and shit. And you know, I used to go to like the basketball games, like when his high school team would play.
Oh yeah.
You know, I would go to the games, and it's like you would see the guys with the fresh kicks on and shit sitting in the bleachers, the ones on the court. You know, and it just kind of came from that basketball, sneakers, and you know, then my mom had a lot of shoes when I was growing up. She had like a bunch of shoes. She still does have a lot of shoes, but it was like kind of a factor in that as well, where it was just like I just thought shoes were cool. And then seeing, you know, the shit with my uncle and all of his friends having the freshest gear at the time.
Oh yeah.
You know, you like, damn, those are cool. I like that. And I mean, there's some shit that I'm embarrassed to say that I actually liked and wore. Hint LA Gears. I had light up shoes.
Hey, look, I can't knock it.
Those
nigga, I had Heelys, dog. Like, what we talking
I
about?
had a pair of Heelys.
Hey, look,
I had the Heelys and I had the soaps.
Oh,
the joints with the grind plate in them. Yeah, I had some of those too. So I mean,
it was just a time, bro.
Yeah, that was middle school for me with the grind, the soaps. And I'm like, man. So it's like, yeah, man, I just got into it through, you know, basketball mainly, and you know, it's just went from there. So I mean, you know, you had back then, you had your idols, you know, being a basketball, you know, fan and playing basketball, learning how to play at that time. You know, of course, Mike was the guy. Then you had Penny come along and his shoes were fire, and then you had the little Penny commercials and shit with, you know, back then commercials were how you saw what was hot. You had Shaq had dope commercials. You know, they all of the big time players had dope commercials for their shit. So I mean, it was different. Like nowadays, there is no commercials. It's like you could just go on the internet and just see whatever the fuck. Like you can see what's coming out like next year already. I mean, it's only what, July, and you got a lineup until next July already
I
out there.
hate that so much that we find out that far ahead so early.
I mean, I could see maybe a few months.
Yeah, it just kills the fun to me.
Yeah,
because I've talked about this a bit on the Macism effect, and it's like I just don't like knowing that far ahead because, like, bruh, where's the fun in it at that point?
I mean, I do kind of like to know sometimes.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, I know what I'm gonna go for it when it comes. But then on top of that, when you know what you want to go for, then what happens when the time comes for the shit to drop, and then all of a sudden it's either delayed or it gets canceled and they don't bring them back, i.e. the Galaxy phones this year. Shit really pissed me off because I wanted those and they didn't even come out. So I'm like, that shit is always subject to change. So there's that. But, you know, it does kill the fun to an extent, but sometimes I like to know. Because I'm like, all right, what am I going to be trying to get? Because I'm very, I guess you couldn't really tell by all of this shit. I'm very particular. So it's like I don't really buy shit unless it's like I really want it.
Oh, I agree.
You know, so if
I'm look,
seeing it come, then I'm
like how Farrakhan like to call me the collab king. Look, dog, to be fair, if there's a shoe that comes out and I might have to give up some stuff to get it, ain't nobody taking all them GRs. I'm just being honest.
That's true.
But at the same time, it's like, bro, like, another thing I hate too about sneaker culture, why does buying a GR for some people like the proof that they're a sneakerhead or into sneakers? Like, it's the weirdest thing to me.
I really don't look at it that way, honestly.
I know you don't, but for some, they think that's if you only buy collabs, you ain't no real sneakerhead. I'm like, bro, to be fair, that's kind of all that comes out now. That like in terms of quality, those are the best.
I mean, I look at, you know, well, I guess with these kids, what are these kids now? Bricks. You know, there's
That's
always a brick.
That is such an idiot term.
And I'm
to
just
me.
kind of like, bro, like I'll buy bricks. I don't give a fuck. If I like it, I'll buy it.
Exactly. I'm like, bro. So it's a brick because you couldn't sell it for resale.
I mean, that's like the only like your girl Bratty Kicks talking about is the sneaker game.
Here we go.
Well, you know her. Like,
you know her too.
I ain't never met her before. You have. I ain't never.
We
met
ain't
her
cool like that.
But you know her though. I don't. That's your girl. But you know,
I guess, nigga. I guess.
Shout out to Amanda.
Yeah. Yes.
She did a thing talking about are sneakers dead, and I'm like, I don't think sneakers.
Yes and no.
I don't think they're dead. I think it's only dead to resellers and hype beasts
and culture vultures.
Resellers and hype beasts.
Yeah, all right.
That culture.
That's
vultures,
fair.
Same thing.
That's fair.
So it's dead to them because the shit that a few years ago you could sell for triple the price, you can't do that no more. So they're mad now because this game's dead because I can't sell shit, and it's just like what it.
But also too,
that's not the
like,
game.
I even said this, like, sadly, everything intertwines somehow, some way. And it's like, I looked at it from the perspective of, because I tell people this all the time, I don't necessarily dislike resellers. I just dislike people that can't do good business.
I don't necessarily dislike resellers. The only resellers that I dislike on your point, those that don't do good business, and those that just be on some fuck shit. And there's a lot of them out there. So, I mean, those type of people, you know, if you reselling shit and you got like a good reputation, good business, you know, when you actually do shit the right way, I ain't got a problem with that. But, you know, there are those, which it happens to be the majority, are, you know, they be on some fuck shit. And I'm just like, ain't nobody trying to deal with this. So, I mean, I think it all goes down to the person, but I think those are the main people that are mad, though, is the resellers on the fuck shit
100%.
And the hype beasts, because they can't, you know, prime example, those oxidized green Jordan 4s that dropped like a couple of weeks ago. Everybody thought those was gonna move and they didn't. So now everybody is mad because it's like, oh, well, I can't resell this because it's sitting on shelves in stores everywhere. And then the hype beasts are like, well, I went and bought these on day one thinking that they was going to sell out and they didn't. So I can't wear these to school now because niggas is going to laugh at me because they didn't sell out. And it's just like, what kind of bullshit are y'all on?
You know what the problem is? It's cares? Like how me and Tim always have that back and forth about trends and all that. It's good to see some people are finally starting to gain their own sense of like individuality, but at the same time, I look at some of these trenders and I'm like, bro, like, what is it gonna take for some of y'all to learn how to actually stand on your own?
See, that's like the difference between like my generation and like this new generation is that we were brought up to be individuals.
Exactly.
So it's just like, yeah.
But plus also too, you know, y'all didn't have like social media like
exactly.
So you had to.
Right. I mean, we just kind of wore what we liked. We didn't have a fucking news feed on Instagram telling us what the hottest trend is in the streets right now. Like, we didn't have
and it's just like, bro, like, I just don't care about any of these trends. I don't care what sneaker is hot right now. If I like it, I like it.
Yeah, I've always been that way.
Yeah, so
I just get what
honestly, with the whole point is sneakers dead. I've been saying this for the past year or two. 50% it is.
I think it's going back to the way that it used to be.
Exactly. It's a lot more niche.
That's why I don't think it's dead.
Exactly. It's just a lot more niche now. Like, it's not.
Well, I mean, I guess it's homecoming for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, me being, you know, an old head that's been in the game for a long time, it's like, it was always a niche thing for me growing up.
Oh, 100%.
So, I mean, it's just kind of going back to, it's like, like the car scene in the late 2000s. It kind of rebooted and went back grassroots.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in the early 2000s, it was like all these fucking hot import nights and Nopi and these giant car shows everywhere and body kits and flashy lights and a bunch of slow shit that want to look fast but won't fast. And, you know, it was just like a lot of that kind of shit. And then in the late 2000s, it kind of went back to grassroots where people were actually modifying their cars with a purpose.
Yeah.
And it was kind of back to that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it did kind of go mainstream again a little bit, but it's still not like it was. Not in the early 2000s. It's not like that.
Oh, 100%.
So,
but honestly, though, I like the spot that it's in. You know, I like that you can walk into a store and actually see some like dope shoes again.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
I like
honestly.
that shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, I mean, to the ones that are mad, stay mad. Nigga, I don't care.
Right. I'm just
half of y'all were cracking niggas over the head for some of these shoes, so I'm glad you're getting it back.
Facts. And as far as like bringing back the retro shit, like the hype retros, bring them shits back.
Yeah.
Bring all of it back.
Exactly.
Like let us old niggas that didn't get the shit back then get it now. These young folks might not know nothing about it, but we do, and we want it. So yeah, keep bringing that shit back. I don't care what, like, if these people want to sit there and get mad about it. Like, nah, bring that shit back. The only people that's mad is like the people that oh, this shit was worth a lot of money and then it retroed and now it ain't worth shit. And that's like, so what? You don't want a fresh pair? Because I do. It's just like I don't care. Like I get a fresh pair. Like those KD4 Nerfs that's about to drop soon. Like I need that. Those were extremely hard to get when they came out back in the day. And I'm just like, I'm glad they're bringing that shit back.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want a pair for sure.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see. But take us out.
Well, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Listen to us go on our rant. So I guess for those of y'all that did see my Iverson video, shit, hit us up, man. Let me know what y'all want to see next. And it's like we in the lab cooking. So
hey, and like I've been telling y'all, anything y'all want us to talk about, definitely DM, comment, do what you got to do. We'll talk about it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we definitely got another interesting convo that we got to have. That'll be on the next episode. But until then, I'll take it easy.